Hey everyone, I'm Tim. I'm the product manager for the package stage at GitLab. And today I'm going to be reviewing with you our upcoming milestone 12.3, which is scheduled for release on September 22nd, 2019. Just a reminder that this document and all of the relevant issues will be linked in the video description. So please click through, comment, contribute. And if you don't feel comfortable with doing that, you can always email me at trizzy@gitlab.com, and I'd be happy to talk through any of these issues with you offline as well. Okay, so first up on the list, I'm really excited to announce in 12.3, we'll be launching the MVC of our Conan repository integration. This will allow C++ and C developers to set up GitLab as their remote Conan repository. Will allow users to authenticate using their GitLab personal access token, and allow those users to create and upload packages to GitLab. In addition, we'll have a user interface that displays the given metadata for a given package. A little bit different than what we have for NPM and Maven currently in the user interface. Obviously, the metadata itself is different. There's also this new section here, settings, which drops down, which you can expand, and it includes basically all of the info from the Conan info file, which is user-generated key value pairs. So slightly different user interface, but basically the same. Click on to the issue. You can see all of the different use cases that we're highlighting. You could take a closer look at what metadata we're showing. If you have any interest in that or think that we're missing something, please feel free to comment. You could see which version of the Conan API we're using and why, as well as more about permissions and security. Okay, next up, authentication with CI job token to the NPM registry. If you've been following along with these recordings or these kickoff meetings, you've seen that we've made a lot of changes recently to the GitLab NPM registry. We recently enabled authentication with the personal access token. We launched support for groups and subgroups for NPM. The next logical thing for us to launch here is being able to authenticate with CI job token, which will allow users to programmatically build and publish their NPM packages to GitLab. There's no user interface to show off here. This is going to be strictly a permissions change. Once it's done, should be able to use GitLab CI for building and publishing your NPM dependencies. Again, feel free to comment along the issue if you have any questions or concerns. Okay, next one is an older bug that's been around for quite a while. It's a very popular issue for us. This is well, I don't like to blame Docker, but this is actually a limitation of the Docker API, where deleting a given tag or image will delete all other tags or images that share the same image ID. Okay, it's a lot of tag and image words, but basically what I mean here is I have these two tags here. They both share the same image ID. If I go to delete just this one here, it will actually delete both, which is a really bad user experience. A few milestones ago, we added a warning message that this behavior is what was actually happening, but this actually addresses the core problem. So with milestone 12.3, when you say that you want to delete this tag FF, it will only delete the tag that is selected. So that's a really nice improvement, and thanks to all the users who went back and forth with us on this issue and sharing their sample code and projects and use cases. It was very helpful in resolving this issue. And finally, we have a new API endpoint to list the packages of a group. So last milestone, we did this for the container registry, where we added a new endpoint that will allow you to view all of the images and tags at the group level. So we're adding the same thing now to our packages API, which will support Maven, NPM, and Conan. So you'll be able to view all of your dependencies, not just at the project level, but at the group level as well. One thing that is not in our kickoff document, but I think it's important to highlight user contributions, especially when they're so valuable for us as GitLab users. This user, Ocho Rocho, This is a bit of an older merge request, but it's getting looked at now, and it's all about adding Composer, which is the PHP package manager, to our list of integrations. This is great. We're going to be trying to push this through in 12.3 as well. And just a reminder that with GitLab, you really can contribute to the code and the product that we're using. And I would just remind you to say, it doesn't have to be code. You can contribute, like in the Conan issue, we have lots of comments from our users that are helping us to define the specs and say what specifically they need. People volunteer for user interviews and user research. That's also incredibly valuable. Anyway, I just thank you for your time and for listening to me go through each of these issues. I'll just remind you, if you have any questions, trizzy@gitlab.com, comment in the issues, and look forward to launching these and getting these features in your hands.